You might think cutting back on sleep is just a normal part of aging. Maybe you've told yourself, I just don't need as much sleep anymore. But what if I told you that sleeping less than 6 hours a night, especially after the age of 65, isn't harmless? That behind that quiet habit lies a series of health risks that researchers are now calling silent accelerators of aging. You may still feel sharp, still independent. But science has a message for seniors who routinely sleep too little. Your body is paying a price, whether you notice it yet or not. In this video, we're diving deep into what really happens when older adults sleep less than 6 hours. We'll explore what the brain does or doesn't do when rest is too short. We'll talk about your heart, your immune system, even your risk of Alzheimer's. This isn't guesswork. It's based on years of research, elderly wisdom, and life lessons too many ignore until it's too late. So stay with me. Because if you, or someone you love, is over 65 and sleeping less than 6 hours regularly, what you learn in the next few minutes might add years of quality life. Before we get into it, let me ask, where are you watching from today? Drop your location in the comments, and if you find value in this kind of content, go ahead and like the video and subscribe. Let's protect our health and our peace, together. Now, let's begin with something most people never associate with sleep deprivation: brain cleaning. Every night when you sleep, your brain actually washes itself. It flushes out waste, toxins, and metabolic buildup through something called the glymphatic system. Think of it like a street sweeper that comes through your brain's alleyways, removing clutter from the day. But here's the problem: this only happens in deep sleep. And when seniors sleep less than 6 hours, they often miss those deep phases entirely. What's the result? That toxic waste, especially a protein called beta-amyloid, starts to build up. And this protein? It's directly linked to Alzheimer's disease. A landmark study from the NIH followed seniors over 70 and found that those who routinely slept less than 6 hours had significantly higher levels of brain plaque. Even those who had no memory problems yet showed early signs of decline on brain scans. This isn't meant to scare you. It's to wake you up so your brain can rest. Because no crossword puzzle, no Sudoku, no brain training app can replace the power of one good night's sleep. I met a gentleman named Louis, 75, in New York. He told me, I've always been a night owl. 4 or 5 hours was enough. But he started forgetting names, misplacing things, losing focus. After a sleep study, it turned out he wasn't just sleeping short, he wasn't reaching deep sleep at all. With some small adjustments, he increased his sleep to just under 7 hours. Within 2 months, he said, it's like the fog started to lift. Now let's move from the brain to the heart. Because sleep doesn't just affect your thinking, it protects your circulation. When you sleep, your heart rate slows. Blood pressure drops. Your cardiovascular system enters a recovery state, almost like a nightly tune-up. But without enough sleep, that recovery doesn't happen. In fact, the American Heart Association reports that adults over 60 who sleep less than 6 hours have a 30% higher risk of heart attack and stroke. It's not the sleep itself, it's the stress hormones that stay elevated when your body never gets to reset. Cortisol, adrenaline, those chemicals meant to protect you in emergencies, stay active. And over time, they wear down your blood vessels. Your heart works harder. Your arteries stiffen. Inflammation increases. All of it starts quietly. Until one day, it doesn't. Let me tell you about Maria, 68. She thought her heart palpitations were just anxiety. But her doctor connected it to sleep deprivation. She was only sleeping 5 hours a night, watching late-night shows, scrolling through her phone, thinking it helped her relax. Her doctor helped her build a new sleep routine: no screens after 9, herbal tea, a light walk after dinner. Her heart calmed down. Her energy came back. She told me, I didn't realize sleep could be medicine. And she's right. Sleep is medicine. And when you're not getting enough, less than 6 hours consistently, you're silently skipping the only time your body truly heals. Now here's something most people never connect to sleep. Your immune system. You know how many seniors complain, "I catch every little cold"? Often, it's not age. It's poor sleep. When you sleep less than 6 hours, your body produces fewer cytokines, the proteins that fight infection and inflammation. One study from UCLA found that people who sleep less than 6 hours have a dramatically weakened immune response, even after a single night. Now imagine that happening every night. It's like showing up to battle every day with your army half asleep. You become more vulnerable, not just to viruses, but also to chronic inflammation. And chronic inflammation? It's behind nearly every major disease in old age, from diabetes to arthritis to cancer. So if you've been saying, "I just don't sleep much anymore, but I'm used to it," please understand. Your body never gets used to deprivation. It learns to cope. But it copes by breaking down. In the next part, we'll look at why so many seniors sleep less, and how to fix it. Because you can restore your sleep. And you can protect your brain, your heart, and your peace. But before we go, if this video has opened your eyes to the hidden risks of sleeping too little, please like and subscribe. We share real science, elderly wisdom, and motivation to help you live longer, healthier, and with more clarity every day. Tell me in the comments, how many hours do you sleep a night? And where are you watching from? So now we know what happens when you sleep less than 6 hours. Your brain doesn't detox, your heart doesn't recover, your immune system falls behind. But the next question is even more important. Why does this happen to so many seniors? Why, after 65, do so many people find themselves lying in bed, eyes wide open at 3 a.m., wondering what changed? The truth is, sleep changes with age. But it doesn't have to disappear. Let's talk about what causes sleep to shrink, and more importantly, what you can do about it. First, the body's internal clock begins to shift. Your circadian rhythm, the 24-hour cycle that controls sleep and wake, starts moving forward. Melatonin, your natural sleep hormone, begins to release earlier in the evening, and fades earlier in the morning. That's why many seniors feel tired by 8 or 9 p.m., but also find themselves awake at 4 or 5 a.m., even if they didn't mean to be. And here's the mistake most people make. They try to fight it. They stay up late to stick to old habits, watching TV, playing games, scrolling their phone, thinking they'll still get their 8 hours. But what actually happens is, they shorten the window their brain wants to sleep in. And they wake up, not because of age, but because of misalignment. I worked with a woman named Janet, 69, from Colorado. She told me, "I used to go to bed at midnight my whole life. Now I'm up before the sun and can't fall back asleep." Once she started adjusting her bedtime, just 30 minutes earlier each week, her sleep stretched naturally. By the end of a month, she was going to bed at 9:30 p.m. and sleeping until 5:30 a.m., a full 8 hours. No pills. No struggle. Just listening to her body's new rhythm. So ask yourself, are you honoring your current rhythm? Or are you trying to force your body into a schedule that no longer fits your season of life? Next, we have a major culprit that steals sleep quietly. Chronic pain. After 65, the most common nighttime complaints aren't dreams or noise. They're aches, stiffness, restlessness, arthritis in the hips, back discomfort, leg cramps. And here's the cycle. You lie in bed. You can't get comfortable. You wake up multiple times adjusting pillows, changing positions. But every time you move, your brain gets pulled out of deep sleep. By morning, you've been in bed for 7 hours, but your body feels like it barely slept at all. What can help? For starters, don't ignore nighttime pain. Talk to your doctor. Explore gentle evening stretches. Use heat packs, Epsom salt foot soaks, or anti-inflammatory teas like turmeric or ginger. And if you haven't updated your mattress or pillows in over 10 years, it might be time. Also, if leg cramps wake you up often, ask your doctor to check your magnesium levels. Many seniors are deficient, and just one supplement or dietary change can bring deep relief. Another reason seniors lose sleep? Frequent nighttime bathroom trips, also known as nocturia. This one sneaks in slowly. You wake up once at 2 a.m., then again at 4. Each time, you think you're going back to sleep easily, but in reality, your brain is starting from scratch every time. What's worse, many seniors start expecting to wake up. And that expectation becomes part of the problem. Here's what you can do. Limit fluid intake 2 hours before bed. Avoid caffeine after 2 p.m., even if you think it doesn't affect you. Go to the bathroom twice before sleeping, once an hour before bed, and once right before you lie down. And don't forget to check for medication side effects. Some heart medications and diuretics can cause nocturia. If you're waking up more than twice a night, it's worth bringing up with your doctor. Now let's touch on something less physical, but just as powerful. Anxiety and overthinking. You know that feeling when the house is quiet, the lights are off, and suddenly, your mind turns on. You replay conversations. Worry about tomorrow. Think about the past. And before you know it, it's 2 a.m., and your heart is racing. This is extremely common in seniors, especially those who live alone, or are dealing with loss, retirement, or big life transitions. And while you might think it's harmless mental chatter, it activates stress hormones that block deep sleep. What helps? Nighttime rituals. A warm shower. 5 minutes of slow breathing. Listening to soft instrumental music or nature sounds. Even writing down your thoughts in a notebook before bed, just 3 lines, can clear your mental slate. I remember Harold, 83, who once told me, "I realized I was solving problems in my head at 1 a.m. that didn't even exist." He started a nightly habit of saying out loud, "Nothing needs to be solved right now." And that tiny sentence helped him reclaim his rest. And one final, but major, factor behind poor sleep in older adults: loneliness. We don't talk about this enough. But emotional disconnection deeply affects the body's ability to relax. Multiple studies now show that seniors who feel isolated experience higher nighttime cortisol, more fragmented sleep, and weaker immune function. We are social beings, even if we're introverts. When we lack connection, the brain stays on alert. It feels unsafe. And that impacts how deeply we sleep. So what can you do? Reach out to someone. Join a group, even online. Keep photos near your bed. Write a letter. Say a prayer. Any act that reminds you you are not alone. Because peaceful sleep begins with a peaceful heart. In the final part, we'll talk about the practical solutions, how to go from restless to rested, even if you've been a short sleeper for years. Yes, real change is possible. If this part resonated with you, please like and subscribe. We're building a space for seniors to thrive, with science, support, and compassion. And I want to hear from you. What keeps you up at night? What's one habit you'd like to shift this week? And tell me, where are you watching from? You are not forgotten. And your sleep still matters. Now that we've uncovered the risks of sleeping less than 6 hours, and the hidden reasons why so many seniors struggle to get enough rest, let's focus on what you can do to sleep deeper, longer, and more peacefully starting tonight. Because it's not too late. And real, lasting change doesn't require a prescription, it starts with a shift in rhythm, awareness, and care. Let's begin with something incredibly simple: creating a bedtime anchor. Just like children have bedtime stories or lullabies, your brain, even after 70, craves routine. That routine sends a message. It's time to shut down. You don't need to meditate for an hour, or follow some complicated ritual. A short walk after dinner. A cup of herbal tea. 5 minutes of stretching. A warm bath, or even a few pages of a calming book. Pick something gentle, something familiar, and do it every night. Because once your brain associates that routine with rest, it starts winding down before you hit the pillow. Next, protect your bedroom like a sacred space. Keep the lights low. Turn off the TV and avoid scrolling on your phone at least 30 minutes before bed. If you need background sound, use soft instrumental music or white noise, not news, not drama, not anything that makes your brain engage. And your bed? Make it a symbol of peace. Clean sheets. The right pillow. A blanket that feels just right for your skin. Don't underestimate these details. When your environment says comfort, your body responds. Here's a trick that helps reset sleep for many seniors. Morning sunlight. Get 15-20 minutes of natural light within an hour of waking. Open the curtains. Step outside if you can. Sit by a window while you sip your tea. Natural light helps reset your circadian rhythm, boosts serotonin, and sets the foundation for better nighttime sleep. And here's the part that surprises most people: it works best early in the day. Why? Because it sets your internal clock to know when to start producing melatonin later that evening. In other words, your best sleep starts with your morning light. Now let's talk about food and drink. What you consume after 6 p.m. can quietly sabotage your sleep. Caffeine, even in tea or dark chocolate, can linger in your body for 6-8 hours. Alcohol might help you fall asleep faster, but it disrupts deep sleep and increases nighttime wake-ups. Try finishing your dinner at least 2-3 hours before bed. Keep it light. If you get hungry later, choose something with magnesium and tryptophan, like a banana, a handful of almonds, or warm milk. Hydration also matters. Drink enough water throughout the day, so you're not gulping it all at night, which leads to bathroom trips and broken sleep. For those who wake up between 2 and 4 a.m. feeling restless, try a technique called 4-7-8 breathing. Breathe in for 4 seconds. Hold for 7 seconds. Exhale slowly for 8 seconds. Repeat 3-4 times. This calms the nervous system, lowers your heart rate, and gently guides the body back into sleep. I taught this to a woman named Nora, 77, who'd been waking up every night at 3 a.m. 4 months. She started practicing it every time her mind began racing, and after 2 weeks, she was sleeping through the night. She said, "It was like telling my body, I'm safe now. I can rest." Here's another thing. Don't lie in bed tossing and turning. If you've been awake for more than 20 minutes, get up. Sit somewhere quiet. Read something calming or listen to soft music. Return to bed only when you feel sleepy again. This helps your brain relearn that bed means sleep, not worry or struggle. Now, for those who've been sleeping 4 or 5 hours for years and feel stuck, there's one more message I want to share. Improvement is still possible. But it takes patience. Just like you didn't lose sleep all at once, you won't rebuild it overnight. Start with 15 more minutes a night. Then 30. Give your body time to trust the new rhythm. And if sleep problems persist, don't suffer in silence. Speak to a sleep specialist. Get a home sleep test. Conditions like sleep apnea, restless leg syndrome, or chronic insomnia are common after 65, and very treatable. Because you deserve more than just enough sleep. You deserve rest that heals. That clears your mind. That restores your joy. Let me remind you, your value doesn't disappear with age. And your health doesn't have to either. The science is clear. Seniors who sleep less than 6 hours face real risks: cognitive decline, heart strain, weakened immunity. But you have more control than you've been told. Honor your rhythm. Protect your space. Quiet your thoughts. And watch what begins to change, not just in your nights, but in your days. If this series has helped you see your sleep in a new light, take a moment to like and subscribe. We share science-backed insights, elderly reflections, and stories that help you live longer and stronger. Tell me below, what sleep habit will you focus on this week? And where are you watching from? Because this isn't just about sleep. It's about giving your body the love, respect, and care it deserves every night, for the rest of your life. Here's to peaceful nights and brighter mornings. You've earned every one of them.